Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Welcome to The Loop with Winnie and Greg. I'm Winnie's son. If you don't know who I am, it's great to meet you. And a quick bio myself. You may have seen me on CNBC. I'm on the CNBC Financial Advisor Council. I'm a longtime sports contributor, managing director of Sun Group Wealth Partners to talk about money and finance and all sorts of fun things. I'm also the host of Level Up, which is a show that's on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, and Roku. But more importantly, why I'm so excited to be here, why Thursdays are so special, is because I want to introduce you to my co-host. That's right, the one and only Greg Nibbler. Greg, hey.
Hello. Yes, indeed. I am Greg Nibbler, and thank you everybody for joining. So if you don't know who I am, I've been a technology host and reporter for all kinds of different outlets and shows for years. I've even done sports reporting. I was a host for the Portland Trailblazers for a while. But for this show in particular, I want to be talking about tech and all the fun stuff that comes with gadgets and everything involved in that. And I guess to go back to it, that's really the key thing that we want to do with this show is have fun. Everybody's tuning in live. We're thankful to have you here. Ask questions, hit us up, all of that. And Winnie and I have a lot for you today.
We have so much for you today, but luckily, the two of us, we're going to bring it down. There's so much going on. And those of you joining us live do know that we're going to be monitoring your comments throughout the show. So wherever you're joining us from, welcome. We're so excited to be here with you. And actually, do me a favor before we get in too deep here. We want to know where you're joining us from. Now, I'm currently here in Southern California. And actually, I saw on Twitter, people said, oh, there was an earthquake today. And I actually didn't even know. Being born and raised in California, we sort of get used to it. I don't know if it's my kids jumping around or the earthquake, but I guess it was an earthquake. And Greg, where are you joining us from today?
I am in Portland, Oregon right now, where actually, shockingly, it's really hot for here. It's like 85 degrees, which it never gets that hot this early in June. So for us, this is a heat wave. I feel like that should be Southern California weather. But other than that, everything's good here. No earthquakes, no volcanoes erupting. It's pretty nice here today. So I'm okay on that end.
Yeah, no earthquakes, no volcanoes erupting. I feel like that's a good day. Well, let's start with the market. Yeah, we got to talk about, we have so much to talk about today. We're going to talk about Amazon Prime Day. We're going to give you all the lowdown. Greg's got so many great gadgets and cool things to get you through that process because a lot of people are talking about that. Actually, Amazon Prime Day is coming on June 21st, right around the corner. But let's start with the market, tell you how it closed today. Now, the Dow closed down 23 points, NASDAQ down a whopping 141 points for those of you who are also into tech investing like I am, and the S&P down 15 as well. Luckily, some good news coming out from the job market. The U.S. job report came out to be pretty good. And in fact, the first time numbers dropped under 400,000 for last week for Americans filing for unemployment for the first time. We will take it. We'll totally take it. But let's talk about Amazon Prime. And I want to talk to you about Greg. I mean, Greg, we've been talking about Amazon Prime for a little bit now. A lot of people are pretty excited about this. I mean, it's sort of like the Black Friday of the summer, right?
It is. I mean, and that's what it's turned into over these years. Because, I mean, it started, I think 2015 as like an anniversary for Amazon. And they've essentially, made it their own holiday over all these years, going from 1 day to 2 days to really technically it may be 2 days, but it's really like weeks or a month, once they announce this. So it's kind of crazy just what it's turned into because it's them working on it. And then you have everybody else trying to like jump in on it too. But it's a good day. I mean, it really is some really good deals that happen on Amazon Prime Day. I mean, there's
Amazon Prime Day, and you called Greg, you called it a holiday. So I'm like, now I'm thinking, traditionally maybe like the end of the year, there's a lot of holidays that you get gifts, and there's the birthdays that you get gifts. I mean, do you give your loved ones a gift on Amazon Prime Day? Is that going to be the next big thing?
I think that's what Amazon would want you to do for sure. I mean, it is kind of a weird just over this last year because the date is they kind of pushed it around a bit, but then of course with COVID it got pushed way back, and this year it's getting a little bit closer back to where it normally is, which is generally July. So June 20th, 21st, that works out. But this, with this now, I think how many different things they have there, and as you can see, even just showing what they're already promoting, like these concerts and all of that. I mean, they really are making it this idea of a holiday and a celebration of buying things, I suppose. And yeah, I mean, some of the deals though are so good. Like a lot of people will go to Prime Day and buy something ahead of time. Say somebody's got a birthday coming up, buy it that day, save it, and then give it to them later because the deals can be so good on it.
Okay, so I kind of love that, Greg. I feel like you were channeling me in a moment there, like actually, telling people how you could sort of save and budget for all year. Maybe like if you have a shopping list of your loved ones, your family, your kids, your coworkers, you're like, I'm going to need to get them gifts anyway. So I've got my list and maybe, I'll go ahead and hit Amazon Prime Day. And I can see you saying that because, people might think, well, why should we be talking about Amazon Prime Day? Because that just encourages shopping, right? But if you think about it, whether or not we talk about it and whether or not we go through deals or not, the reality is that many of us do want to gift and need to buy certain things around the house that make our life a little bit easier. And I don't know about you, I love a great deal. This is like in my DNA. I'm feeling the deal. So let's talk about that right now. So Amazon Prime is reporting they have over 150 million subscribers that are part of Amazon Prime. As you know, Amazon Prime membership is about $119 a year. I mean, there's certain discounts. If you're a student, you can get a free trial as well. I think it's a 30-day free trial if you don't have this. But what it enables you, it sort of opens the door to Amazon Prime Days. Shouldn't even call it days into almost a month, right, Greg?
Right.
But with this, Amazon Prime membership, I'm going to guess, Greg, you have it. I can't even remember the last time I not had it. It gives us a lot of other things, right? Do you want to talk about some of the other features? Like I think there's Amazon Video, there's audio, a lot of other features that come with this too.
Yeah, there's Prime Video that you get with it, the free shipping, which is huge. On pretty much everything. I mean, the majority of items that you get free shipping on. You've got if it's either 1 day or 2 days, sometimes at this point, I think they're trying to get it down to 1 day for pretty much everything. So there are a lot of advantages to it. And I know you mentioned something too. It's about shopping and why should that be a holiday? But the thing is, a lot of third-party sellers on there because it's not just Amazon products; it's everybody's selling through that. So thinking about just all these. Companies, maybe smaller companies who are making money through it too. So it's kind of a good gateway for them to find customers as well. But yeah, there's a lot of membership deals that go along with that with an Amazon Prime membership. I don't even take advantage of all of them, to be honest. I kind of forget what they all are. I know I use the video service, and I use the free shipping for sure. I think there's a bunch of other things that go along with it too.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm in the same boat, but definitely the free shipping I love. And I think I get some coupons and benefits when I shop groceries, like on Amazon Fresh and Whole Foods and things like that for sure. But the other thing, what I thought was really interesting, there was a recent study done about Amazon Prime Day, and the study showed that of the people surveyed, over 60% of Americans plan actually to shop at Amazon Prime Day, week, month. It's crazy. I mean, talk about world domination. I mean, Jeff Bezos, the guy's busy. No wonder he's buying a boat the size of a cruise ship. I don't know if you read that too, Greg. But
I'm not surprised, but
I mean, there's some things that he's doing really well. One thing that, Greg, I don't know if you saw, but this thing I really want to make sure that everyone is paying attention to, because this is a big deal. And actually, I tested it. I wanted to make sure this was working before I shared it with all of you. But if you go on Amazon right now and you buy a gift card, at $40. If you buy a $40 gift card, I actually gifted it to one of my team members who is amazing. My producer, I gifted him a $40 gift card because I thought I gotta test this out. I gave him a $40 gift card, and with that, you get a $10 credit that you're able to use for Amazon Prime Days months. So if you haven't done this already, I highly recommend that you jump on this if you plan to buy anything on Amazon Prime, because it essentially is a $10 gift card. You don't have to give it away. You can buy the gift card to use yourself. You can even have it mailed in a box home. I know school's about to end for a lot of kids too. This is a great parent-teacher gift, right? But that's a great way to save right from the get-go. Now, it may encourage you to spend. Now, if you're really on a budget, I don't recommend you do it. If you still have, student student debt. A lot of people have student debt, but if you still have credit card debt or consumer debt, this is probably not an area you want to jump into. But if there's something that you really need for the house or something else, this is a really fast way to earn a $10 credit pretty easily. So that's one thing. The other thing that Amazon is doing, which is pretty cool, is they're also giving you a $10 credit if you spend $10 on one of the smaller, if you shop small on Amazon. And so, as Greg had mentioned, there's a lot of other vendors within Amazon. But on the $10 credit, what you want to do is there's a gift code, and it's gift for PD21. We'll make sure to share that in comments. And if you don't see it, definitely send us a comment so we know, so we can reply to you. So that's a good one. And the other thing is, Greg, I don't know if you heard about this. You probably know I'm a big travel fiend and I'm a big points and miles fiend. So anytime I can use my typical spend to build, take care of my future travel needs, I'm a big fan. But what I don't have is this particular credit card, and that's the Amazon Prime Rewards. They actually have a Visa card. I don't own this card, but what they're also doing is if you do have this card, they're going to give you 10% cash back during on small business purchases during this spend $10 get $10 back period as well. So
that's pretty interesting. I didn't know about that. I am, like you, I love to travel too, so I try to get as many points and miles or whatever kind of reward I can get if whatever it is that I'm buying. So that's pretty interesting. 10% cash back. How does that compare, to kind of where other ones are at, or is that sounds like it's a really good deal?
It's a good deal because you get 10% back, but instead of like points and miles like you and I receive, like for travel, right? They basically would get a 10% credit back to their Amazon account, so they could, I guess, spend more stuff on Amazon.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great deal. And again, something I didn't know about. Both those things you're just talking about are great tips for that too. And I think if anybody has any other tips, if they're watching live right now and want to drop those in, would love to hear some more of those as well.
Well, Greg, one thing I'm really curious about too is, Amazon Prime Day is also really well known for their tech deals. And there's a lot of information out there. Before we got on here, we talked a little bit about TVs. I know there's a lot of deals out there, but sometimes we don't know what to buy, what not to buy. We see the reviews, and to be honest with you, I see a lot of good reviews. And even from there, I don't know, you have to then match up a really good deal with the reviews to make sure you don't have buyer's remorse and you don't have to do returns, which can be sort of stressful.
Yeah. And you're right. There are so many tech deals, and I've covered Prime Day for the last, pretty much since its iteration, actually, just with, especially from the tech angle. And so I would have a few suggestions for people out there who are wanting to take advantage of some of those. And particularly, I guess, maybe talking about televisions. I know this is something where there's a lot of TV deals. If you're looking to buy a TV right now, like right this moment, and you're wanting to upgrade or get an extra one, I would say wait a couple of weeks, wait until Prime Day happens and see what kind of deals show up, because inevitably every single year, that's where you see some of the best things happen, whether it's in like the high end ones, if you're looking to get like a super high end Sony or a Samsung, OLED television, something along those lines, or QLED, I guess it would be for Samsung. There's some good deals on those high end ones, but also on some of the lower end ones too. Like say you're just wanting to get another one for a game room or something like that. You can look at brands like Toshiba and TCL even. They're not going to be as expensive, and they're not going to be, the high end television you're getting somewhere else, but they're actually still pretty good deals, and definitely something to look for. And especially going into the Fire TV side, Amazon Fire TVs, whether it is one of those brands, whatever one it happens to be, they tend to be really cheap. And I'm talking like sometimes half off, or they'll have like kind of traditional doorbuster style ones where they're super cheap. Those ones don't last long. If you can get in there and get them, great. But I would keep an eye out and maybe think about what it is you want, and then seek a television that kind of fits those characteristics. Like, you obviously 4K. I don't even think you probably buy something that's not 4K now. I would not recommend that. But I don't know why you would, but then, looking for like HDR, look for the upgraded HDMI, inputs and outputs, try to find all those little key things to add up to giving you a pretty good television for whatever deal it is that you're looking for. And then kind of seek that out and keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on what's showing up on there. There's a lot of websites too that'll have different deals that'll pop up, and they will want you to go through their site. But do a little bit of research, and I would say hold off a couple of weeks before, even if you're just like itching to buy one right now, I'd say wait, just because you can probably find something that's really good.
I love that. That's great advice, Greg. Not only that, I think that with technology, it seems like there's always a better deal in the future anyway. One thing that I like to do when I do online shopping in general is, especially on Amazon, is you can actually, like Greg said, follow Greg's guidance of 4K, certain ones that and we're going to talk more about this. For those of you who are watching, we're actually coming back next week. We're going to delve deeper into Amazon Prime Day, week, month here for you. But what you might want to do is take a look at some of the options that you have, maybe in the right size, right, that fit your room and style, and put them into your shopping cart. Because what's nice about that is once you put in your shopping cart or your wish list, you can also start to price compare and get a sense of how it compares relatively to other retailers. You can compare against like Walmart and Target and other companies too, or Best Buy even, and see if someone else has a better price. I'd also jump in here and want to put this on your radar too. There's a company out there. There's a website called Camel. And actually, I got tuned into this from some of my friends in the Points and Miles community. What Camel does is, if you sign up, right, they can actually go through your Amazon wish list and tell you when the last time something that you're looking at was inexpensive or was more expensive, and how it compares to today. So here is actually what I did, and you can just download the Chrome widget, and that can help you get a sense of, wow, is this an all-time high for this item, or is this just the lowest point? Then maybe, I'll do what Greg says, wait a couple weeks, drops really low. Okay, I feel good. I hit the purchase on that. So you just want to make sure you're not overspending. With that in mind too, is if it comes out and it's during Prime Week and you're not sure if it's cheaper or not, and if it shows that actually even with the Prime deal is 10% more than it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, then it gives you a chance to hold off if that's what you're looking for too. The other thing I would stack on top of that is I want to put this on your radar. Now, this is a website I use for every bit of shopping pretty much that I do online. And there's a website called cashbackmonitor.com. Now, if you don't use this, you're missing out. I don't know, Greg, have you ever used Cashback Monitor?
I don't. I'm just kind of enthralled listening to this because I have been so bad about making sure that I'm getting a good deal at some of that on like in using this extension and this. No, this is fascinating.
Okay, you're going to love this. So Cashback Monitor is one that I actually have bookmarked on my browser as well. And what I do is you go to cashbackmonitor.com. If you're going to shop Amazon, or if you're going to shop Best Buy or Lowe's or whatever, you just simply put the retailer in the top section there. You hit find, and it will tell you which credit card or airline miles or whatever will give you the most credit back or even cash back. Right. So, for example, let's say you're looking to buy something at Best Buy. Let's just say, right, stick in Best Buy, and it says, okay, if you go to the Chase portal, you might get, I don't know, whatever it may be, 3%. If you go to Rakuten, which used to be eBay, maybe they give you 5%, and then you can decide which one to go through, and that's how you shop.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I will definitely be using that. This is why Winnie's son is the financial expert that she is. Yeah, that's amazing. Like, why not do that just to make sure that you're getting all the best deals?
You never know, right? Yep. Another way to save
I'm a fan of deals. So yeah, I'm all about this. This is great.
Yeah, so take a look at that. I would definitely get comfortable with those two before we start shopping.
Yeah. So a lot of good advice there for different things to get. And something else too I want to bring up, for Prime Day, something that's actually also always good deals on Amazon smart home devices. And there's a couple of things we'll get into this too. I've had a lot of people ask me this week about Amazon Sidewalk, so I wanted to kind of explain that here in a minute. But just to talk about the devices, like if you're looking to add a smart home device or a Ring device or anything in those two families of things that they've got, which is a lot now, like anything that's Echo, or I won't say the A word to set everything off, but the ALEXA word, anything that uses that is going to have a really good deal also on Prime Day. It's something that, naturally, since it's Amazon devices, they're going to have some pretty good savings on them, but you can get some bundles and all kinds of cool stuff like Fire Sticks and Fire Cubes, everything along those lines that'll come up during that time. Again, just taking a look. I mean, it's constantly expanding on what they've got. They've got the 4th generation Echo Dots out there now. Taking a look here, right here. Yeah, some smart lighting. That's something that actually the only time, now that I think about this, the only time I buy smart lighting is on Prime Day, because that's when you find the deals. And so I've kind of accumulated over the years a bunch of different ones with that. But you'll find some good package deals, not only in just Amazon ones, but ones that are third party. GE, everybody else will try to really push those too. It's a great time to upgrade smart homes. Winnie, are you a smart home device person, or do you have any of these kinds of things?
I do. We have actually, it's interesting. Yes, it's because we got smart home set up at our house long time ago, like when we moved here, actually, because one of my best friends owns smarthomes.us, that company. But one thing I will say is, like you've mentioned, I mean, with all the technology and video gear and my kids, distance learning, you're absolutely right. Those plugs are so helpful. And in fact, I got my son's 12, my oldest, and I got him a Alexa Kids device. It's the cutest thing, Greg. It looks like I think his looks like either a little like a little panda or a little cheetah. I'm not sure which one, but super, super cute. What I love about that device is it helps obviously set a timer for when he needs to wake up in the morning, but also he uses it as his dictionary. He'll say, Alexa, what does this mean? Or Alexa, how do I spell this word? Or he uses, and it's just really cool. And I think I actually did, Greg, get this on Amazon Prime Day last year. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. The other thing is, I don't know if you saw this, Greg, because I saw this. There are Alexa sunglasses. Did you see this?
I'm trying to remember if I've seen those. No, so they're just enabled with it, so you can walk around. It's got the speakers on them, I assume.
Well, in doing research for our show today, I actually saw them. I think what you can do with that is they're Alexa sunglasses, and I understand. I think you can, ask questions of it or something like that. I'm guessing. But then would you have to have Wi-Fi though, or would it connect to your phone? I don't know.
It'd probably connect to your phone. I would have to take a look at them because there are several different kinds of smart glasses that are out there. Oh yeah, the Echo frames. You know what? These came out, I believe, a couple of years ago, and second generation on them right now. I would be interested to see where they've improved on those, because the idea is kind of cool, but then you're also kind of stuck with that same what they look like. So you do have to like that style of them. And there's some other companies that have things out like this as well, that are trying to get into the more smart glasses and smart frames. To me, I kind of prefer the buds, although I guess with this, you wouldn't have to have something actually in your ears. So that would be kind of nice, but you would have to like the style. So that would be a key thing, I feel like, in your decision making. If you're cool with the style, then why not give them a shot, try them out?
Not only style, but the price.
Yeah, the price too. They are not cheap. I'll tell you, as somebody who generally doesn't pay over $20 for their sunglasses because I always break them, this would probably be a bad purchase for me personally. I am terrible with sunglasses, so I probably shouldn't do that. but I would try them out though. They're still cool looking.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those things I'll probably pass on. I think, I'm with you. I tend to lose sunglasses, and I think I'm good there. That's for somebody else for sure. And I want to say a quick hello. I see our friends. I see CrossX Fighter. I see Joshua. I see Jim. It is wonderful to have all of you there. I see Modern Mom. Thank you all for tuning in with us. It's so fun. Actually, it's so fun because Greg and I came with this idea that we should talk about Amazon Prime Day. But Greg, I really want to learn about this. And I know I asked you, but if you could share with us about Amazon Sidewalk, because I want to get your take on this. This is different.
This is something I haven't had this many people asking me about a tech subject as Amazon Sidewalk in a long time in a week like this. So I wanted to kind of walk through it and explain it a little bit. There's a lot of talk out there about what it's doing, and kind of just give an explanation of what it is, and then talk about some of the things that people may be concerned about with it. So Amazon Sidewalk is going to be launching on June 8th. And the idea behind it is to create essentially a mesh network within a neighborhood or a community of devices, meaning a mesh network, meaning an internet connected network. So right now, think about this. Let's talk about the devices themselves. So we mentioned the smart home devices like Echo devices, Ring, which in case you didn't know is owned by Amazon as well. So they're an Amazon enabled device, like Ring spotlight cameras. Yeah, they are. So they picked them up. It was a couple of years ago. They bought them, and so they're all kind of integrated with those with Amazon devices. So you can actually hook up. In case you didn't, another thing, in case you didn't know, your Echo device will work with your Ring devices for kind of enabling that. So all of that stuff. Yeah, I know, right? I use the Spotlight Cam. I'm a pretty big fan of those, just because it's not quite like as comical as their commercial here, but just to keep people from creeping up, at least I can see if it's going on, or I just catch spiders going in front of it. But which I've got videos of that. But talking about, okay, so the devices themselves. So these things are all interconnected, right? They all talk to each other within your own home network on your internet. Well, what this is going to do, Amazon Sidewalk, is now your devices are going to talk to other devices, like your neighbor's devices. Say you've got like a Spotlight Cam, just to use that for an example, out on the edge of your property. Well, if your neighbor has one, they will now be able to talk to each other. That means that the way it's going to work is each one of these things will share a tiny amount of internet with another one. That's how you create kind of this mesh network. There's some concerns with that people have, and we'll definitely get to that. But let me explain the idea behind it. Of what Amazon wants with this is they're saying that, say your internet goes out, or maybe you've got your property and your Wi-Fi doesn't reach all the way to the edge. Now you'd be able to use that device because it can tap into this mesh network and still be usable. Or maybe your Wi-Fi goes down, but your camera can still stay on, even despite that. So that's kind of what they want with that. And then there's also things adding in like Tile devices, or probably a lot of other ones that'll come along with that too. But Tile and Pet Finder devices, wherever those are, they'd be able to join into the network. So say you dropped your keys, I don't know, 10 blocks away or something, and you're not able to pick it up where it is. Well, they would be able to tap in to that network via Bluetooth and actually get a hold of it. So there's a lot of tech behind it, but that's the idea behind what the Amazon Sidewalk is. So looking at it from that end. Yeah.
That's interesting. Greg, I knew, because I had read a lot about how it's important that if you wanted to opt out, you got to actually manually opt out. Otherwise, you're automatically opted in. So I checked with my husband, and he's like, yeah, we've opted out. But it's interesting you say that, because so like you said, if like, you have it connected to your pet and your pet runs, and you can, probably a better way to get your pet back. I mean, I can see that. It's almost like digital next door, which, is a whole other.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I mean, that kind of is it. And I guess, and I'm sure there's probably comments, and this is what a lot of people have been asking me, is their concerns about security for it. So on Amazon's side, what they're saying is that it's encrypted data, and you won't be able to see what other devices are connecting to yours and vice versa. So you won't know if your device is talking to the neighbor's device or not. And likewise, they can't see that. But I do totally understand, in this digital age and concern for hackers and all of this, different ways that people can tap into things, the concern about that. They're saying they're addressing it, but also definitely opt out if this isn't something that you want to be a part of. And that is the key, just like you mentioned, like you're going to opt in automatically. All your devices are going to just switch to that on June 8th. So if you want to opt out, you have to go into your Alexa controls or Ring controls. If you have both, you got to go into each one of them, and you can opt out of it and just keep yourself off of that. And then you won't be able to use it, and you won't be a part of the network, which is your devices will still work fine as they are now, but you won't tap into that other side of things. So that's kind of where that's at. And, I totally understand all sides of the issue too, where people are looking at it from both ways. Of just being concerned about security and about having your network out there, but according to them, you're not going to be able to do anything. But that's kind of where it's at. So I think that's kind of the big things that people have been wondering about. It's like, what is it? What are the concerns? And a lot of that, and how do you get out of it? Just opt out. I would say opt out if you don't want to be a part of it. I'm probably going to keep it on just because, I'm as a tech reporter, I kind of want to see how it works and just see what happens with it. So I'll keep people abreast if I see anything that goes on with it. I don't know if I will notice anything, but that's what it is. That's Amazon Sidewalk. That's what this big talk is this week. And I think a lot of talk over the weekend too is going to be going on as more and more people realize that it's happening and have questions about it. So that's what I've got. And Winnie, if you have any questions too, if there's any questions in there, I'd be happy to, whatever I can with it.
Well, I want to see, Greg. What I would love to see is, since you're going to opt in, I'm going to opt out. I think
Yeah.
I want to see what your experience is with it next week. I think we should talk about that. I want to see, like, do you notice anything? Do you notice any pull on your bandwidth? Do you get any signaling? Like, I'd be really curious. And I'd also be really curious if someone loses something like a keychain or a pet, like if there's any impact to you, or if you coincidentally lose your keys somewhere, like
Yeah.
like what would because I will say one of the coolest things is, like that Find My iPhone feature, or one of my most used feature on my Apple Watch by far is the Find My iPhone feature. My kids know I use it almost daily, right? Because I leave my phone all over the place, because I try to like not have it on me, especially with when I'm with, like, not at work time. So I'm always leaving it here and there, and then there's a game like Find Mommy's cell phone, so just turn it on. So I would love to see how that would impact, outside of just the phone. It could be like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe put on your pet, maybe put it on those reading titles have gotten really smart because they've become so small. In fact, I can see this being beneficial, right? Because everyone has Alexa device, or a lot of people do.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what I want to see too. Like, I've got a tile right here. These are my keys. I've got one for my wallet, for my keys. And it's kind of the same thing as what Apple AirTags are, or Galaxy Tabs, and all the other ones that are out there, Galaxy Tags, excuse me. But yeah, what I want to do is see if I notice a difference with this. I'm not going to leave my actual keys somewhere, but I've got an extra tile, so I may kind of just set it somewhere in the neighborhood and see what happens. Because it does kind of depend on how many people opt into it too. Because if there's not enough people, it's not going to work even how Amazon's saying it is. And I don't know how you can really tell if I guess you shouldn't be able to tell if your network or if your neighborhood is connected. It should just happen.
It should just happen. But it'd be interesting to see. I mean, Greg, I'd like to see if, like, there's some way you can see, like, wow, I'm the only person in my neighborhood that opted into this. Well, that didn't help. So
I feel like I might be.
I'm sharing my bandwidth with everybody, but nobody's sharing with me. Not only that, Greg, I don't know, like, because you're the tech reporter, you're the tech guru here. If you have a drone, I'd be really interested if you were to stick a tile on your drone and like fly it away and see what happens to it.
I don't know. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to check out. I don't know. I mean, I'm a terrible drone pilot, so I don't know if that would be a good idea for me to fly that through the neighborhood. But somebody should check that out and see what happens.
Yeah, we should totally check that out. I might have to. Maybe I should opt into this thing and like literally take the drone, and fly it around the beach. On a weekend, and I'm like, Greg, like, do you see what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, I guess in theory, if it's connected, see, that's actually a good idea in general, just to make sure that you can find something easier. So yeah, maybe that would be a good way to do that. Yeah, we'll have to see, but I think it'll be interesting to roll out.
It's going to be really interesting. Anybody who's out there at Amazon product, give us a call. You know where we are. We'd love to hear from you. We want to see how this works, because this sounds really cool. This Amazon Sidewalk, it sounds like an extension of like Nextdoor, and I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's how a lot of people are. It's either a little iffy on it, like because you want to wait to see it roll out and see what happens. I'll give anybody my experiences. So, if somebody's tapping into anything, I'll let you know. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it all works out and see how many people are actually going for it.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing from you, Greg. Like, I think that'll be really cool.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, let us know. And then let us know how much you plan and what you plan to buy for Amazon Prime weekday month thing, because I'm really curious to see what all of you are shopping. Obviously the financial person in me is thinking, create a budget, make a list of what you absolutely need. If you don't need it, maybe, reconsider that temporarily. Not only that, I would also share with you a Amazon hack. If you're not putting in your mouth, not eating it, whatever, you might want to look at Amazon warehouse deals, which is a really great way to save some money, because usually they'll be based on a return. Maybe someone's used it, open it up, or not even used it. Like, it could be like new condition. So take a look at Amazon warehouse deals too, because sometimes you can save 10% or more on something that you need around the house. Like, I think I bought a vacuum cleaner that way, and it was perfectly fine, right? So that's a good way to save some money if you're on a budget. But whatever you do, don't don't overspend. The other thing I would say is to put the items that maybe that Greg's discussed that you're interested in, or other things you're interested in, stick them in your shopping cart ahead of time. You actually put, if you're watching us on Amazon Live right now, we actually put a lot of these links on our page right now, so you can actually click it, and then you can kind of keep track of things that way. But I would say this is, whatever you do, this is the financial tip. Don't be monitoring the deals all day long. Very, very dangerous. It's the same reason why I'm a huge fan of curbside pickup too, because I think impulse shopping can really play havoc on your budget. So just get what you want, make a list, tune off 21st, 22nd, do your thing, right? Be brilliant at your job, whatever, hang out with Greg on his show, but let the deals come to you. It's like, it's one of the best ways to keep more of your money. I don't know, Greg, I feel like this is going to be fun. I'm really excited about next week's show.
Yeah, next week too, I'll kind of break down some more of those good tech deals that we expect. We may have some prices by then, but even just more strategy, more things to look at. And if there's something that you'd like to know more about too, feel free to get a hold of myself or Winnie anytime and let us know, because I'm happy to give my opinion, or if I don't know something, then I will direct you to where you can find the info to help out with that, because there's a lot of stuff that people are thinking about, whether it's laptops or televisions like we talked about, or good headphones. Like, there's so many good deals that will happen. And if it's something that you're thinking about right now, I think Winnie's suggestion of throwing it in your cart just to have it in one spot is a really good idea. And then from there, you can go and check everything out on the deals from there. But next week we'll have a lot on that. I'll also have a new episode of The Inbox with Greg Nibbler. That's my show through 2Box Media. That'll be on Monday. So it'll be a good week. A lot going on.
Yeah, a good week. There'll be a lot going on. Let me ask you this, Greg. What are you planning to buy anything for Amazon Prime Day week? Is there anything that's on your radar?
I'm debating. I'm a sucker for the televisions, but I feel like I don't need another television, so I'm trying to stay away from that. What I do want, though, is even talking about those like the smart lighting and smart plugs, where you can turn pretty much any device into a smart device. I think I'm going to start stocking up on more of those to just kind of incorporate my home network of stuff. And that's where I'm going to be focusing on, because there's some really good deals that show up with those. And those things, they're a lot of fun. I mean, the smart lighting, I was surprised about how much fun I've had with that, and just different setups and different things you can do with it. So I'm probably going to go for some more of those. Maybe update with the Echo, a new Echo Dot, because they have the 4th generation, and those things are usually like $20 or $30 off for Prime Day. They cut the price a lot. So I may grab another one of those. I think smart home is kind of where I'm aiming at.
Yeah, smart home is great. I've had smart home for a while now. It's really, I will say, if it's set up correctly, it's pretty cool. You actually can save on your utility bills, because like I have it set up for the kids, where the kids' restroom, when the bathroom, when they walk in, the light turns on, and when they walk out, the light turns off. So it certainly makes it so they don't forget to turn their light off. It's a good way to save. But although I still do believe that they should learn to turn off their lights. But nonetheless, I think for me, I'm actually kind of excited to see, because I know usually on Amazon Prime, they get some really great deals on kitchen stuff like the Instapot. And one thing that's sort of on my radar has been the Instapot has an air fryer lid, which can transform your magical Instant Pot into an air fryer. Did you hear? I mean, that's pretty cool. So then I was thinking, well, that makes a lot of sense, more efficient. Let's counter space, and then I can just put on. So I'm actually really eyeballing that. And I got a really crazy, awesome deal, Greg, believe it or not, because I have to feed a village, with 3 kids. I bought this massive 10-quart Instapot. Now, it's massive. It can feed like the neighborhood. However, my 12-year-old's almost as tall as me. So, I mean, he can eat quite a bit. But I was thinking, if I can get this to also be an air fryer, oh man, like this would be pretty cool. Like this would be like sort of like when we do the neighborhood potluck. This could be like next level.
I will say exactly for Prime Day last year, that's what I got. I got the Ninja Foodie one with the crisper, which is the air fryer on top of that. So I got that last year. I will tell you, it's awesome. It is a lot of fun. There's a lot you can do with it. I am not the world's greatest cook, but I have definitely found with that, I've been able to do a lot more. And like you said, it saves space and all of that. So that, yeah, definitely a good idea on that. Good deals. The other thing I got last year was a robot vacuum, which I didn't have one before, and now I enjoy it. It does help out. The dog was terrified of it for a little bit, but that's another good deal that should probably be out there too, I would guess, on something like that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out next week. That's just great. That's great advice. Great. I don't know, so much fun. So much fun, Greg. I mean, you know, there's so many things that are happening today, and I think this is one of those things that people are kind of looking forward to. And don't forget, I mean, Amazon has some amazing deals. They got great Prime shipping, everything is very convenient. But the cool thing is, in addition to Amazon, there's all these other retailers that are coming out of the woodwork. They're going to also be competing for deals. So, as a consumer, if there's something you need, like Greg was saying, like maybe like some smart home equipment, this is a chance for you to, you know, get the things that you need and perhaps be able to get it at a much better price. And don't forget the stack, right? Don't forget the cash back or the miles back, everything. Like, I don't even let my husband spend cash anymore. I'm like, you know what? We could have gotten points for that, or we couldn't. So keep that in mind if you're going to do this. But whatever you do, remember not to go crazy and impulse shop. That can really, and that's a buzzkill right there.
Yeah, empty your cart out before you hit the buy everything button.
Absolutely. There's always a save for later button. Very important button. Yeah. Save for
well, I will be checking out those websites you were saying earlier too, and those extensions, because that's another great way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I friends help, friends save. That's my motto. So I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Greg. This was such a treat. I mean, like, we should do this more often.
We should do this once a week, maybe every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 Eastern, which is when we'll be back.
Really, next Thursday, 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern?
Pacific, on whatever platform people are watching on right now.
2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern on Thursday. Just want to make sure I got that right. It's kind of like eating broccoli. You got to eat it 8 times. Make sure you remember your broccoli.
Exactly. Yeah. The more you say it, the better it is.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Well, so I'll see you then next Thursday.
That sounds great. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to, and hit that subscribe button, like and share, and get a hold of Winnie or I too. If you have any comments or questions or anything, we're always available for that and to talk about that. And thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks so much for watching. And remember, share the show on your social media, because your sharing is caring. Huge thank you, Greg, for being my partner in crime today. And I can't wait to see all of you again next week.
Same with you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.